Hey there, Aquarius. Thank you for being here. This is your reading for your bonus reading for July 2023. We're just gonna jump right in here. You have this homebody card and also this Cry for the Moon card here. So I feel like for some of you, it could be an emotional time. I have Gemini popping into my head. I keep wanting to say Gemini as well. So some of you could be dealing with a Gemini, or this could just have to do with like your emotions is kind of like what I'm getting here. Although it looks pretty good. I feel that with the Cry for the Moon card and then the Seven of Cups here, it's kind of like saying that you need to, see something through to the end. Sometimes, and especially right now, I feel like it's a time, Aquarius, where we could kind of have these ideas of things that we want to do in our life. But we could also, there's three people, I'll show you that card in a minute, but there's three people with like three different emotions about something, right? And you have the Seven of Cups. You always get the Seven of Cups with me. Seven of Cups says you can imagine how something is going to turn out in your life till the cows come home. But until you actually do it, you have no clue. So it kind of like encourages you to, I feel like it is encouraging you to take action on something. Could be anything, right? I feel like it's something you're being guided to as well. We go 10 of Pentacles to the Two of Cups. Two of Cups could be love, but what I will say is Two of Cups is you and your higher self. So to me, I feel like some of you could be guided towards, or you are being guided towards like a goal, wish, dream, something like that. And I feel like this reading is saying like, you could be kind of in having a lot of different thoughts about it. But again, who cares? Thoughts are just thoughts. I feel like until you actually like put something into practice, until you ground something in reality, it is nothing, right? So that's kind of how I feel here with this energy. You can see these three kind of like faces here. They have like three different emotions, right? And so I feel like you need to get going. You have this homebody card as well here, Aquarius. So some of you might be a homebody at this time. And I don't know. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But you have the Empress, the Sun, and the Seven of Cups. Again, there's like, look at all this abundance, to the 10 of Pentacles and the Six of Cups, to the 10 of Pentacles with the Sun. I mean, there's like a lot of abundance here. But the Empress, she just needs to like wave her wand. That's the other thing as well, is I feel like something like doesn't require as much effort, as you think, or like something. I feel like it's saying don't put, I have like weird words popping into my head here. It's almost like saying don't put restrictions on something like where there are no restrictions or something like that. I don't know. It's like weird message. Look at this. We go Three of Swords, Two of Cups, the Knight of Cups. For some of you, this could be like a person you're interested in, and maybe you're saying to yourself like, oh, they would never be interested in me, or, I kind of have that feeling, or maybe you feel like you have to be at a certain point in life, but I feel like this person doesn't care. You know what I mean? It's like you could be worrying about things that you don't need to worry about, especially if this is love. For some of you, I feel like you already have a relationship. And if you do, by the way, 10 of Pentacles. 10 of Pentacles is the best love card in the tarot. Yes, it's a pentacle card, but it's everything you want and desire. It is the tree of life. It is, building and leaving a legacy with a person. So if you already have a person, it looks good. If you don't have a person, number one, stop whatever this is right here and right here, because again, you're just holding yourself back from this. So again, you might be like, I don't have any good examples. I wish I did. It's like maybe you think you need to make a certain amount of money to be with a person. I feel like this person doesn't even care. Maybe you feel like you need to be whatever. I feel like this person doesn't care. So there's clearly love coming in for you. Could be another air sign, by the way. Maybe that's why I felt like saying Gemini. It could be any sign. Take it how it resonates. But, it's like I feel like they don't care about anything like that. Could also be a Leo, by the way. You have the Sun. The Sun is a card of happiness. I also feel like you need to focus at this time. This is a card of enlightenment. And sometimes I feel that the Sun, it like shines a light on things that we need to pay attention to. So if you pay attention to joy, happiness, abundance, and if you pay attention to the things that make you feel those feelings, I have a feeling that it's going to lead to the 10 of Pentacles. You have the Seven of Cups. Again, too much overthinking energy here. Seven of Cups is kind of like analysis paralysis. Really, the Seven of Pentacles is a card of analysis paralysis, but, he's kind of doing the same thing. He's like analyzing all the good things, all the bad things, but he doesn't actually know how something is going to turn out. So it's like saying, don't assume that, if you get into a relationship with a person, that they're going to expect you to have $1 million in your bank account, right? Or, don't assume that they're going to want something from you or whatever. I feel like this is saying, find out. Same thing, like maybe you want to start a business. You could be thinking about all the good things and bad things that could happen, but it's like, that's always true. That is always true in life. And I feel like this is saying you have to take the risk. With the here you go. With the Empress, you have the Two of Cups. Yes, like true love coming in for you. Looks like a really good love reading. It doesn't surprise me. I always say like Venus is going retrograde this month on the 22nd, and you can meet the love of your life during Venus retrograde. It's not like a Mercury retrograde. With the Sun, you have the Ten of Wands. Yes, I feel like you're doing too much that doesn't matter. Almost every single person has had a message like this, so clearly this is like a collective energy. The universe could be pointing things out to us that where we are wasting our time or we're putting too much energy into something. So again, I would pay attention to that with the Ten of Wands. It's like there could be certain activities that you're doing. If you like do something for work or business and you come home and you are absolutely exhausted, I feel like this is saying stop. There's probably a better way to do it, and you're just gonna have to look for a better way to do it. Yeah, with the Seven of Cups, could be a fire sign for sure. That's coming in for you. You have a lot of, like fire here, kind of. It could also just be someone that you see as very bold, assertive, very confident, type of person coming in for you. And, again, I feel like if you have your eye on a person right now, like it could be a person you work with, or it doesn't have to be, but you have the Ten of Pentacles. So there, there's like some sort of business connection here, work connection. So again, it could be someone you work with. It could also be a friend. You have the Six of Cups. What I will say is that the Six of Cups kind of represents playful energy, so it kind of suggests to me that you might be interested in a person that you've been playful with before. Like it could be like a childhood friend or something like that as well. But, again, I would go for it, and I wouldn't like assume that you have to like be a certain, that's clearly for one of you. It keeps popping into my head. For others, I feel like, if you are building a business here, Aquarius, or if you're trying to grow in your finances, I would embrace more of that King of Wands energy. He really nurtures things into existence. So if you're building a business or something, like really take care of it. Next, in the area of what you need to hear right now, you have this card that says, I completely surrender to my path. Yes. You have this card that says, my thoughts are empowering and loving. I feel like if you're having a hard time making a decision as well at this time, Aquarius, right? Do I need to say it? But, I feel like, if you're having a hard time making a choice between anything, doesn't matter what it is, I feel like one path is going to be clearly empowering and, is going to make you feel like you're living. The other one is going to feel restrictive. And so, I always say to Aquarius that you never have to justify a good decision. And, if you're watching tarot, then you are justifying decisions. There's no way around it, right? I love tarot, but I'm also, I also know that if I'm asking tarot a question, I'm trying to justify the decision, right? And sometimes it's necessary, but for the most part, I feel like you could have decisions to make, and it's like you never have to justify a good one. If you're coming up with excuses as to why you have to go a certain direction, then chances are it's not the right choice. And the other thing is, with this, I completely surrender to my, what does it say? I completely surrender to my path. Yeah, again, there could be something. I feel like your path is maybe taking you outside your comfort zone. So you might have to do things that you've never done before. You might have to take like risks, or you might have to like public speak, or maybe you have to like take the lead in business or something like that. But, I think all those things are going to be good for you. You have the Three of Swords, the Ten of Pentacles, and the Ace of Wands. Again, there's something about like, I'm not sure if this is real or imaginary. We're going to clarify it in just a minute here, Aquarius, but I'm not sure if this is real or fake. This Three of Swords. It's like, it's popping into my head as both real and fake. So, maybe you're healing from a heartbreak, or maybe you have healed from a past heartbreak and there's the potential for a new one, meaning there's new love coming in, which new love could always lead to a heartbreak. But I feel like you need to make sure you're not like creating it, and I would be very careful of that. It's also about forgiveness, the Three of Swords. It doesn't say you have to like forgive a person directly, but those swords are in your own heart. So if you forgive a person, from the past in your own heart, then it can set you free. You have the Ten of Pentacles here. Again, this would be my focus. It's like I would be focusing on those thoughts that make you feel Ten of Pentacles, more empowered, more like you're going to be successful, and like all this other stuff. I feel this is super important right now. As I say to everyone, there are going to be 1.5 million reasons to worry about the future over the next 10 years. But I've pretty much said to a couple people this month that my concern for the future is that people are going to get to like 10 years from now, 2033, and they're going to look back at the last 10 years and they'll be like, oh my God, I wasted a lot of time. I worried about a lot of things that didn't happen. Oh, exactly. Or I worried about a lot of things that really just didn't matter as much as I thought it would matter. So again, like don't get caught in that mental like process where you're like worrying about things. It's like, yes, I'm sure there are going to be plenty of things to worry about, but when has worrying ever done anything for you? It has never done anything for you. I promise you, it has never done anything for you, right? It's mental masturbation. It makes you think you're doing something when you worry about something, but it doesn't. So what I would do is I would take action on the things that make you feel good and create more of that, plain and simple. Now you have the Ace of Wands here. A lot of people getting these cards like the Ace of Wands. I think we're in a very creative time. You have the Empress, the Ace of Wands, definitely a very strong creative energy. And so going this way, you go to the Knight of Pentacles, the Knight of Cups. I'm looking at too many cards at once here, Aquarius. The Knight of Cups, he's standing in the desert. So, this is, to me, this card really represents the time that we are in. He's standing in the desert. He thinks like, oh, I'm in the desert. Nothing can grow in the desert, but there's water flowing in front of him. So, energetically, I think this is true for all of us, where we could be looking at our world in front of us and be like, oh, I want to start a business. I want to start this relationship. I want to do whatever. And then we could think like, oh, I don't have the resources, but actually you do. So it just says like, start planting seeds. Don't worry about what's going on in the world. Don't worry whether or not you have the money or you think you have the money or you don't have the money or whatever to get started on something. Just get started. When something grows, take extra good care of what's growing. That's like all you need to pay attention to with the Knight of Cups, plain and simple. With the Three of Swords here, you have the Ten of Swords. Some of you could have dealt with like a stab in the back situation here. And you could be, you could be worrying about that. So again, I feel like this is something that has already happened with a person. And I feel like you need to kind of, like, if you want love, open up, is what I feel like this is saying, It's like you could be in this mode where you're kind of like healing from a past situation, but you could still be worried because of like what a past person did to you. And I feel like this is saying like try to heal from it so that you can get into something new if you want it. With the Ten of Pentacles, you have the Hermit. What I would say here is like something needs to be revealed to the world. Everybody gets this, but Pluto and Aquarius, at the end of the year, or really the beginning of next year, Pluto will be entering into Aquarius for 20 years. And, basically 20 years, I should say. And, what I would say is that it's all about shining your inner light, especially for you as an Aquarius. I tell everyone, if you have like any Aquarius in your chart, I would be doing something, even if you're not an Aquarius, I would be doing something to inspire people. I think everyone should do it, period, but definitely you as an Aquarius, I would definitely be doing something that inspires someone in your life. It doesn't even have to be that big of a deal. It could just be your children. It could be one person, right? You could just inspire one person, and that is enough. And I keep telling people, if everybody did it, then everybody would be more inspired. We'll create a more abundant world. But Pluto and Aquarius is about inspiration. The Hermit is holding a star in a lantern, and he needs to, shine that star out into the world. With the Ace of Wands, you have the Page of Wands. You're definitely going on a creative adventure. The Page of Wands is holding that one wand, like the Ace of Wands. So, I feel like there could be like a creative adventure that you're going on, or a new adventure in your life. You're doing something that you've never done before. I feel like some of you know that you have to break free from like a cycle here or something that you've repeated in your life, or it's like, maybe there's something where you just like have done the same thing over, maybe like repeated mistakes, right? Or maybe you grew up in an area and you're trying to break free from that area, or you could be moving or traveling. A lot of people I think are doing this right now. Again, Neptune and Pisces as well. Neptune and Pisces is like a direct challenge to traditional belief. Like if you grew up somewhere and you've been living there for your whole entire life, then you might have the desire to move with Neptune and Pisces. It's not going to be true for everyone, but for some people, but it could be something else as well. It's like maybe you grew up under a certain religion, you change your religion, or you change your ideas about life or whatever. And so, it's going to be different for all of us. We're all different. But, I would like go on that adventure because, discovering those things right now is working with the energy. When we work with the energy, then we become very successful. Next, in the area of the unexpected, you have this Council of Light card. It says Divine Orchestration, Helpers in the Subtle Realms. And you have this Get Grounded, Empaths, Highly Sensitive, Connect with Nature. Every single person, like all these decks that I use, every single person has had something about like connecting with nature, getting out in public, going out, having fun, all those things. So I think that we're kind of in like an energetically serious time. And so whenever the energy is serious, I feel like the universe is like, okay, everybody needs to chill out. Everybody needs to go have fun so that we can get the energy moving the other direction, right? So that's what I feel here. I also feel like you're being guided by your ancestors at this time. I would like, you could be having dreams, daydreams, and it could be from like passed on loved ones I'm getting. So I would pay attention to that. You have the Two of Cups, Three of Pentacles, and the Six of Cups. Two of Cups is a perfect match for you here. So I do feel like there could be some sort of perfect match coming in for you in your life if you are looking for love. As I said in the 2022, I did love readings, and every single person had the Two of Cups. So it wouldn't surprise me if you're attracting someone who's different than your usual type. And I said during those 2022 love readings, it doesn't really surprise me. The energy has changed as far as love is concerned. There's a lot of things that go into it, but what I would say is it doesn't really surprise me that every single person has this. But also, don't be surprised if you attract someone who's just different than your usual type. Again, you're going to be attracted to this person, but maybe there's just, they could come from a different country, they could speak a different language, they could have been raised a different way than you were raised. So again, a lot of the astrology, I think, is trying to break people out of their story so that people can create a new story. There's like no better way to create a new story than to learn from a person who lived a different life than you. That's like a great way to learn. You have the Three of Pentacles here. Again, if it is love, I love the Three of Pentacles because, to me, it's a person who really wants to put in the work. Three of Pentacles, like a card of teamwork. And they're like working towards a common goal as well. They're creating these Three Pentacles. So, you could be really attracting a person where the two of you kind of work towards something in common. It could be to have a family, 10 of Pentacles, build or leave a legacy, something bigger than just the relationship. There's also something here about you showing off, and again, I mean that in a good way. Like if you're working on a big project, or maybe you're writing a book, or starting a YouTube channel or whatever, now is definitely the time for you to do that. You have the Six of Cups. Six of Cups is a card of a turnaround. So and that's what I feel here. Six of Cups can represent a person from the past, and obviously with that Ten of Swords and the Three of Swords, I would be careful of a person coming back from the past. But other than that, I do feel really that's not what I'm getting here. What I'm getting here is that the Six of Cups can be a gift from the universe. Usually the gift we receive from the Six of Cups is we've been like bumping up against some sort of obstacle that we feel like has been preventing us from moving forward, and then the obstacle gets removed. So that's kind of like more of the feeling I get on that Six of Cups for you, is obstacles being removed. With the Two of Cups, you have the Four of Wands. Yeah, definitely. I thought you had the Four of Wands twice for some reason. This always happens to me. I always make things up in my head, right? Seven of Cups. But right here, marriage. So there definitely is like a knight in shining armor coming in for you. I'd make sure you're fully healed from whatever this is here, because I feel like there's a very good connection coming in for you. If you don't want love, and even if you do, again, I would say that this is about committing to something going this way as well, like committing to the dream of the Seven of Cups, not just like thinking, oh, good things, bad things, actually bringing it down to earth, which every single reading I do for you talks about this. With the Three of Pentacles, you have the King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles says break free from convention. At least that's what I feel like it's saying in your reading. You and Leo, your opposite sign, right? It's like you and Leo always get these cards of needing to break free from convention. And convention is the way things have always been done. And so I really feel the best way for you to change your story, it's very simple, is to do something new, do something different with your day, try new things, have new experiences. I've been begging people to do this right now. I'm literally, my Chris Rec channel, I'm starting videos on there talking all about this. Like literally the only thing I'm talking about is having new experiences, because it's like, I think like experiences can be the currency of the future. It's like being different is going to be very important. Pluto and Aquarius is the collective. It's very good for the collective. It's also bad for becoming part of the collective. And I know that's going to blow some of your minds. It's not about like not being part of the collective. It's about not getting sucked up into some sort of weird hive mind. It's like if everybody starts believing the same thing, that's probably not a good thing. So it's about having your own unique experiences so that you can benefit the collective, but also be different, right? So, that's what I'd say there. With the Six of Cups, you have the Emperor. Definitely could be a fire sign coming in for you. I'm pretty sure I said fire at the beginning of reading. I was feeling fire pretty heavy at the beginning of the reading in general. So if you want love, could be a fire sign. If it's not a fire sign, I would say it's probably someone who has like a lot of fire in their chart. Next, in the area of the good stuff, whatever shows up here, it's going to be good no matter what. You have this activated earth card. It says power places, ley lines, trust where you are led. There seems to be a big thread throughout this reading of being led. I feel like you are being led. The problem is I feel like I'm not calling you out here at all, Aquarius. Trust me, I've done it a million times in my life. Like, I feel like this reading is saying, like, don't get in your own way. You know, it's like, if you feel something, I feel like you need to move in that direction. Don't let people talk you out of it. Don't let your own feelings talk you out of what you felt in the first place as to, as being the right thing. I feel like, again, that card says, my thoughts are empowering and loving. That is really standing out to me in your reading. I think the things that are good for you are going to feel empowering and loving. I think if you sit down and you really think about the choices, the direction you're moving in, if something makes you shrink or feel small or like you can't expand, then that is clearly not the right direction. You have this card that says, loosen your grip. Yes. Coping mechanism, destiny, addiction, let go in God. So I feel like you need to kind of like let go at this time. And sorry, I have something in my eye right now, but what I would say is I feel like you need to let go. And I feel like the control part is like thinking that things have to work this way or that way. I feel you need to let the universe show you how things are going to work. You have the Knight of Cups, the Magician, the Seven of Pentacles, and the King of Swords. I always pull the card the Magician's pointing to, which is this one right here. It says, I take the path of love and devotion. Are you kidding? How crazy is that? Basically, it's the same as my thoughts are empowering and loving. So there you go. You have the Knight of Cups here. Definitely could be a knight in shining armor coming in for you. And so if you want love, could be someone coming in and sweeping you off your feet. If you don't want love, and even if you do, again, like I said, I feel like you could feel like you don't have the resources necessary to do something, but you actually do. So, don't be afraid to take risks. You have the Magician, your card, but also I feel like you're kind of reinventing yourself. He has a snake eating its own tail here. This is the Ouroboros. The Ouroboros represents reinvention. So again, I feel like you are becoming a different person. And again, I feel like, one of my favorite books of all time, The War of Art, in that book, and I'm not talking about The Art of War. People always correct me. No, I am talking about The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield. In that book, he talks about basically how when we become very successful or start to become more successful, that's when we experience the most resistance, like people in our life, like crabs in a bucket, right? The people in our lives trying to drag us back down into the bucket so we don't change. We are in a time of crab in the bucket where you need to get your ass out of the bucket and get back into the ocean, right? And I feel like this is saying, like, again, you might have people saying things like you've changed or you're different or I'll be like, damn straight, I'm not exactly the same as you. So I would make sure to stick up for yourself. You have the Seven of Pentacles and the King of Swords here. So, I feel like you're taking decisive action with that King of Swords. I really feel good about that King of Swords. It is showing up in the good stuff, but I like the King of Swords in general. I do, but I feel extra good about him in your reading because I feel like you're taking decisive action, which is great. Seven of Pentacles, change in direction. There's clearly a positive change coming in for you in this reading. But let's see. With the Knight of Cups, you have the Strength card. Definitely could be a fire sign. You have every single one now. Sorry, I'm choking. So that, I don't know. There you go. That's good. With the Magician, you have the Queen of Pentacles. Yes, I do like this for love. The King and Queen of Pentacles to me are like permanent lovers. Very strong connection, very happy connection. So, I really like to see that. With the King of Swords and the Seven of Pentacles, you have the Queen of Swords. Again, some of you definitely have you're dealing with a past person situation here. I do not like the King and Queen of Swords together, period. I do not like them as counterparts, period. Even though they're showing up in the good stuff, what I would say is that this could be an apology for some of you, or you could be clearing the air with someone or something. But King and Queen of Swords, as far as I'm concerned, are not meant to be together unless they were like, again, I read holistically. I take everything into account when I read. I don't just read like one card being this or that. But if there were like a bunch of love cards surrounding it, like here, then I would say, okay, this is like a good love connection. But just intuitively, I feel like this is a past person that you do not see eye to eye with. It could be an Aries, could be another air sign as well. But maybe you just need to forgive this situation and move on. I feel like it's two people who aren't talking to each other anyway, so I would just move on, just in general. But let's see here. I'm going to pull 5 main themes for you here, Aquarius, and we're going to see. You have this official person card. I feel like you could be becoming an official person, or you could be attracting an official person. Also, Aries. You have this high honor card. Yes, whatever you're doing is again, Sun, 10 of Pentacles, 3 of Pentacles. All those cards could represent getting very positive attention in work or business. So this positive attention could be like a raise or promotion, something like that. Next, you have the sudden wealth card. Damn, Aquarius. This is a very good reading. I feel like for whatever you're doing in work could be very solid, could lead to sudden wealth or success. You have this coffin card. Something is definitely dead, done, over with in your life. I feel like it's a past love situation. And you have this message card, again, clearing the air. Like I said, some of you, there could be like an apology or something like that coming in. But for the most part, I feel like you need to focus on whatever you're working on here and making decisions. But this looks really good. So thank you for being here and definitely enjoy your month.